Hello, third grade. It's time for the language. It's language. It's language. It's language time. All right, guys, as you take a look at the board, you will notice we have some sentences that have been written. However, they're missing something. Or are they? We've got to add some commas into some of these sentences. Do you know which ones need commas? Do you recall when to use a comma? Let's review very quickly. When do we use a comma, class? Well, we use a comma when we want to add a conjunction to correct a run-on sentence. The sentences that go vroom. We also use a comma after the word yes or no at the beginning of a sentence. Yes, son, you may eat. And then we also use a comma before and after a name of the person that we are speaking to in a sentence. All right, sweethearts, let's take a look at the board and see what we got here. The first one says, Bryson, did you leave the door open? Bryson, did you leave the door open? Have you identified where that comma goes in that sentence? Of course, after the person we're talking to. And who are we talking to in that sentence? Bryson. I'm going to insert a comma right there. Please stand, class, to say the pledges. Please stand, class, to say the pledges. Who are we giving an imperative command to? The class. So therefore, we put a comma before and after who we're speaking to. So if we're speaking to the class, we need a comma before and we need a comma after. Please stand, class, to say the pledges. All right, sweethearts. Next sentence says, I wonder when Mrs. Washington will return. I bet several of you thought that when I was gone that week. I wonder when Mrs. Washington will return. Class, commas. Mrs. Washington? Before and after Mrs. Washington? I have a question for you. Are we talking to Mrs. Washington or are we talking about Mrs. Washington? I wonder when Mrs. Washington will return. We are talking about Mrs. Washington, not to Mrs. Washington, so no commas needed. Wakanda, no. And last but not least, no, I did not forget my lunch. No, I did not forget my lunch. Of course, we insert a comma right here after the word no, and that goes with the rule that says you put a comma behind yes or no at the beginning of a sentence. All right, guys, I'm going to read some sentences for you now. Please identify the who did something and what they did. What is the subject of this sentence? In autumn, the leaves change colors. In autumn, the leaves change colors. What is the sentence about? The leaves. And what do the leaves do? Change colors. All right, next up, my family and I pick apples. My family and I pick apples. Who or what is the sentence about? It's about my family and I. That would be the subject that we'd underline once. And what did my family and I do? Picked apples. That would be the part we would underline twice. All right, mom makes applesauce. Mom makes applesauce. Sorry, guys, got a little distracted. Who or what is this sentence about? And mom, if you make applesauce, our class would be more than happy to try it out. Okay, so mom did something in that sentence. We'd underline mom once. And what did mom do? Make applesauce. That would be the part we underline twice. That's called the predicate part of the sentence. Remember, all sentences have two parts. Who did something and what they did. Last but not least, here's your last sentence. My brothers and I enjoy a warm cider. My brothers and I enjoy a warm cider. Who or what is the sentence about? It's about my brothers and I. And what did we do? Or what happened? We enjoy warm cider. That's the predicate part of the sentence we would underline twice. All right, awesome job, class. Now, if you will, please direct your attention to the board. You will notice I have some words listed here at the very, very, very bottom of the board. And those are some very, very special words. I want to know from you, are they nouns? Give me a thumbs up if they are. Man, woman, foot, tooth. Man, woman, foot, tooth. Are those nouns, class? Well, what is a noun? A noun names a person, place, or thing. A man is a person. A woman is a person. A foot is a thing, and so is a tooth. Perfect job, class. Now, we have learned how to make singular nouns, man, woman, foot, tooth. We've learned how to make singular nouns turn to plural nouns. However, Not always are we adding S. That's just what usually happens. And then not always do we change the F to a V and add ES. And not only do we just add ES to the end of words, the ones that end in SH and CH and end in X and S. Guys, there are a couple of them that you don't add those letters to at all. They actually change the word altogether. You see, if I brought up a child to stand next to me on my left side, and then I brought another child up to stand next to me on my right side, I would not have childs standing next to me on both sides. I would have children. Do you see, class? The word went from child 1 to children more than 1. So I added a R-E-N to it. So what I'm telling you is, in order to change the word child to something that was plural, it did not follow any of those rules that I held up before. Like what, Miss McWilliams? What I just talked to you about. To form the plural, add S to most nouns. If it ends in CH, SH, S, X, and Z, add ES. If it ends in F or FE, change the F, FE to a V and add ES. Oh yeah, you remember this part? If it ends with the Y and it has a consonant out front, you change the Y into an I and add ES. Or if it ends with a Y and is followed or has a vowel in front of it, that means you simply add the letter S, but we've got some that are totally different, which means we have to change them. These are some irregular plural nouns. So if I had one man and I had a group of them, they would be called men. If I had one woman, yes, but I had a group of them, they would be called women. If I had one foot, ha ha ha, but two of them makes feet. Yes. And last but not least, one tooth fell out, but if I lost more than one, I lost a pair of teeth. Great job, class. So these are called irregular plural nouns because they don't follow those rules. Till next time, don't forget them. Toodles.